It's the most famous underdog story ever told. A broke, unknown actor writes a script about a club fighter that nobody believes in. Studios offer him money, real money, to sell it and walk away. He says no. He'll only sell it if he gets to play the part himself. That gamble became Rocky. But according to the man who lived it, the real story didn't start with grit or hunger or stubbornness. It started someplace higher. Sylvester Stallone says that God told him to write it. In a new interview with a brand new film about his life on the way, Stallone is opening up about the faith behind the fists. Here's the story he's telling now, and why it might hit harder than the movie ever did. This summer, a trailer dropped for a film called I Play Rocky. It's a behind-the-scenes drama about how the original Rocky actually got made. The movie is set to hit theaters in November. It revives one of Hollywood's best-loved legends, the story of a nobody who bet everything on himself. And the numbers back up the legend. It was made on a shoestring, roughly $1 million for a movie. The 1976 film went on to gross more than $200 million worldwide. Won Best Picture, and it would launch a franchise, 5 more Rocky films, and 3 Creed spin-offs. But talking to the Dove Foundation, Stallone pointed past all of it. And here's what he said. He admits he was never a writer. And one day, out of nowhere, he felt compelled, like he was being asked to write this thing in his words. He felt as though God was moving him to do it. That's why the very first Rocky opens on a mural of Christ looking down over the boxing ring. It wasn't set dressing. To Stallone, that was the whole point. The fighter was being watched over. He was being given a shot he didn't earn and didn't deserve, which, if you think about it, is a pretty good definition of grace. Faith wasn't always front and center for him, right? Stallone was raised Catholic, and as a boy, his mother took him to Mass daily. And then life happened, and then fame happened. The success, the fortune, the whole Hollywood machine pulled him further and further from where he started. He's been honest about it. He got out into the so-called real world, hit temptation, lost his way, made a lot of bad choices. Does that sound familiar? It should. That's not just Stallone's story, right? That's Rocky's story too. And if you're honest, it's a lot of our story. So what pulled him back? For Stallone, it came the way it often does, right? Through a crisis. In 1996, his daughter was born with a serious heart condition. And in that moment, when there was nothing he could do, he says he started putting everything in God's hands. Now, that's the pivot, not a mountaintop. It's a hospital room, right? Fast forward now to 2023, and Stallone and his family were received by Pope Francis at the Vatican. It's a long way from the kid who had walked away from the church. That drift had reversed. The prodigal was heading home. And this is where it all connects, because Stallone says the journey of Rocky was basically his own. He was taught the faith, went as far as he could with it, lost his way in the real world. And Rocky, same thing. Good man without the right guidance, until he's suddenly given a chance he never saw coming. Stallone says this: Jesus was over Rocky, and Rocky was meant to live out the example of Christ, forgiveness, service, getting knocked down and refusing to stay down. That's not a boxing movie. That's a redemption story wearing boxing gloves. And for 50 years, millions of us have been cheering for a sermon and calling it a sports film. The part of his interview that's really got me interested wasn't about Rocky at all. It was about church, because Stallone had some pointed words for people who think they can go it alone. He said being part of a church gives you spirit, unity, oneness, something you just don't get being all by yourself. He didn't soften it. Some people, he says, going solo to justify their laziness, you take out what you put in. And then he reached for a metaphor that, I think only Rocky could deliver. He said, without the church, it's like a boat without a rudder. The church is the gym of the soul, and people in it, they're your trainers. You don't think you can go another route, but with them in your corner, you can. Coming from the man who invented the greatest training montage in film history. So, step back. Global action star, near the end of his career, on one of the biggest platforms he's got. And what does he talk about? Not the stunts, not the money. He wants to tell you that he lost his way. God brought him back, and that you're not built to fight alone. The underdog needed a corner. So do you. And so if this encouraged you, like it, subscribe, tell us in the comments, what's your gym of the soul? I'm Nori. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.